So before we get into the interactions, I want to do a couple of animations for the troll. These are going to be fade animations, so they're a little bit trickier, require a few more keyframes, but I'll explain why. To start with, we need to add one more asset to our screen. So I'm going to go to the Assets folder. I'm going to grab our R ping, drop it in here. Now we see we've got our nice little R going on. So I'm going to grab that, and I want to position it. So I'm just going to grab it here. Position it above our troll's head. I'm going to hit the Shift key after I've selected and uniformly scale that. Right here, I'm going to give it a bit of a rotation too. So we're just going to rotate it 10 degrees. That looks right to me. R looks like it's coming out of it. Every time you say it, I want you to say R. Right? The kids will love that. All right, so now we've got our assets in place. We're going to go back to our animations window. What we want to do is we want to make the R fade in and then fade out once the knight swings his axe. We're going to need to create a new animation. We'll call this one R fade. We're going to select opacity as the animation type and select our R layer. There we go, create animation. I'm going to immediately add 2 additional keyframes, and you'll see why in a second. I'm going to turn off auto reverse. So what is going to happen is, by default, Lightwell makes it fade out. So if we preview this, you'll see it fades away, and then those other 2 keyframes don't do anything. We're going to say in keyframe 1, the initial state is actually completely transparent. It's faded away. In keyframe 2, we're at 100%. At keyframe 3, we are also at 100%. And at keyframe 4, this is our fade out. We want it to go back down to 0. And I'm going to change this to ease out. There we go. So now when we preview it, what you'll see is fades in and then goes away. The reason I did this with 4 keyframes instead of using a reset or an auto reverse is because I want the text to hold for a second right in the middle so that we can read it. So I'm going to move these all up a little bit and give myself a bit of space. So I want that to hold for a second for readability so the readers can see what it actually says. So we'll preview again, R, and then there we go. So that's our initial fade animation. You'll notice though that on the screen, the main screen, that's still visible even though we faded it out at the end of the animation. What we want to do is make sure that this does not appear on our screen. So we'll go to under layer controls and properties, we'll go to the opacity and we'll turn that right down. So now it is not visible on the screen. We go back to our animations. When we preview, you'll see fades in and fades away. The next thing we want to do is we want to fade our troll out as well. So we'll create one more animation. We'll say troll fade. Opacity, select a layer, troll, it's an easy one, create animation. Same thing on the keyframe 1, in this case he's 100%, keyframe 2 goes to 0%, really simple one. Do not want it to auto reverse, we do not want it to reset. We can leave begin at current state, doesn't matter because it's opacity, hit that. Nothing happens. What's going on? Well, let's check our keyframe. Keyframe 2, 0%. Keyframe 1, let's try that again. There we go. So that messed up because on the main stage, his current state is fully visible, and so we don't want that. So we want it to fade away. But I do want to put a bit of a delay in this, so I'm going to move that keyframe a little bit. Just for a timing, and then we'll test that again. There we go, our troll fades out. So that's our troll fade. So in the next video, we're going to do all of our interactions, and you'll see how this all links together.